Hi students, welcome to LTEX classes. This is me SPR. Today we're gonna discuss about geographical concepts of the day. So in the geographical concepts of the day, geography concepts, I'm gonna say a concept called a liquefaction. Okay, liquefaction. So what is this liquefaction? Why it is so important? Don't confuse it with other subjects. The same word will be used in physics and also in chemistry and also in current affairs. So the same word will be you'll be coming across in physics, chemistry and in current affairs. In current affairs mostly you'll be facing a word called coal liquefaction. What is that word? Coal liquefaction. This is a modern concept. I will give an idea of the other concepts, but I will be detailedly explaining the liquefaction in a geography perspective. Okay, we'll be discussing in a geography perspective why it is so important and very important in geography. Okay students, before getting into the video, let me say a preview of the video that how we're gonna discuss. See here, if any concept that you're gonna learn for UPSC, either if it is in prelims or mains, the topic will be learned by taught by me through a similar format, which means first image based understanding, where you will get a concept clarity. You will get concept clarity, then you will be studying definition based. Okay, then you will be having examples. This is what you need to write in the UPSC mains. If here you need to know the concept, you need to write it in an image format, and again you need a definition that satisfies the topic that has been asked, and then you need an example that will show that the same phenomena has happened nationally or internationally. The validating example will validate your answer with a more accuracy. Okay guys, let us get into the topic further. So here, on fine day, a person woke up in the morning and found that his car is inside the surface of the soil, which means see here how his car is being present. So the car has entered into the earth, which means, and in the same way in Japan. So in Japan, a person went to some new place or other place. He left his home and came over. He found his home to be missing. The surface is plain and the home is to be went inside the soil. So why this is been happening? What is this phenomena called as? This phenomena is called, so is due to soil liquefaction. Okay, so here the soil, subsurface soil present over here will be liquefied, and slowly the so called car will be getting inside. Let me also provide few example related to to that. For example, quicksand will be hearing, someone will be in mostly in forest area. If anyone goes and get inside that, so it will be similar to, it will be a soil but not a strong or stiff soil. It will be loosely packed, and also you'll be getting sucked into it. So slowly you'll be getting sinked into it, and you will be vanished. So this is what we call as quicksand and these things. Here the phenomena what is that happening is liquefaction of the soil. Now you'll be having a bit more clarity of the concept. And again, if do you know that while on the roadsides you will be finding some people digging so-called wired or fiber net cables. After digging, they'll fill it with the soil that they had filled. Initial stages, if you view that, it will be piled up, which means some sort of it will be more than the subsurface, which will be to the level of the ground. It will be of the higher, which means it will be a little more high position. So after any rain or such situation, you will be found that will be sinked into the earth. It will not be equal to the surface or equal to the earth level. It will be some sort of sinked. So why this is been happening? So this is been happening because the soil that is present will be interacting with the liquid and or a liquid particle, and then it will be acting as a liquid. So similar to the liquid, it will be acting. So here let us see a liquefaction in clear cut image oriented learning. Here this is more important concept in geography. See, all the buildings, structures, everything is stable on the surface only if the subsurface soil which is present here will be stable. So only if the subsurface soil is stable, then only the all the surface related infrastructure, materials, everything will be stable. But here the liquefied soil, the soil when interacted with the other elements, which means external forces or external stress, here the stable soil, the soil will be packed tight and closer. Here in the subsurface loosely packed soil, the soil will not be packed that much tight, it will be loosely packed. So certain times due to any moments or external stress or external pressure, this subsurface soil will be slowly into the stage of melting. It will be similar to the melting, which means that will be shaped and act similar to the liquid format. So this will make the subsurface elements, the buildings, cars, trees, plants, all the houses, everything melt or sink inside the earth. So they slowly get inside the earth and they'll be synced. So this phenomena which is happening in the soil is called as the liquefaction. Okay. Yes, students, now you have understood what is this liquefaction. So this is most common in certain regions and also few regions like Japan where it had happened. And also you need to know, as I had mentioned earlier, what is the reason for this so-called external force. What can be the main geographical reason is earthquake. Mostly this earthquake, after effects of earthquake, this will be one of it, where the subsurface soil will be melted or act as a liquid, and then the surface structure will be slowly sinking into the earth. Here let me show you other image which clearly shows the soil liquefaction. See here, the bedrock will be in the surface of the soil or construction subsurface layer. If you look into over here, the lower layer will be a bedrock which will strongly hold the base for the constructions, and also upper layer there will be mostly sand, topsoil that will be loosely packed with grains and soils and also held by the friction between them, and also the pores or gaps that is present in the soil will be filled with the water. Yeah, this is the soil and it is stable, and all the buildings also will be stable on the surface. So when you are considering here, the bedrock is present over here and the other soil here will be slowly melted, or see here, shaking destabilizes the soil by increasing the space between the grains, and which is structural loss, and soil flows like a fluid. The answer is same thing. The soil will be flowing like a fluid. When soil starts flowing, for example, let me show you. If you take a tub and if you have a water, so this is a liquid nature. So sometime if you throw anything on it, so it will be slowly sinking. So at a fast it will sink, but if you are taking some sort of fluid, viscous fluid, then if you throw something called if you take a Fevicol tub or throw something on it, slowly it will be sinking into the so-called same Fevicol tub. So similarly here, earth will be acting as a similar type of soil as a viscous liquid. So the structures present over there will be liquefied and slowly getting into the soil. Also guys, a childhood experiment would have proved you clear here. If you in childhood, if you take an box or tub, or if you fill it with the sand or some particles, then if you shake it, if you keep on shaking that, if first initially when you filled it, it will be to the this level. After some time, if you keep on shaking, the level will be reducing, which means the subsurface will be reduced, which means this itself shows due to the shaking, the soil will be readjusting, the gaps between the particles will be readjusted, and that will keep on sinking. This is what a basic concept called so-called liquefaction. Now you have had a clarity of liquefaction. I need to provide as differentiation between coal liquefaction. Coal liquefaction, which is a modern concept which is present in extraction of the coal. So this is different from soil liquefaction. Here what is coal liquefaction is that, guys, look over here clearly. In coal, mostly for extracting coal, it will be hard as it is in a solid stage. You know, to carry heavy industries, heavy materials, everything is needed. So for the extraction, they convert the coal to liquid. So coal is converted to the liquid stage. Now the liquid stage coal will be acting as a viscous fluid or fluid like structure, which will be extracted through the pipelines or high pressure motors. Everything will be used to extract this so-called coal. This is called as the coal liquefaction. Now you would have understood what is coal liquefaction. There is a physical and chemistry definitions where a gas converted into the liquid is called liquefaction. Okay, gaseous stage converted to the liquid stage is called as the liquefaction. This is what a liquefaction varies with subjects. But now you have understood what is the liquefaction and a geography. But now let me show you, if you are preparing for UPSC, this content next what you hear is important. If so means the question is asked regarding this, how do you write, what will be the definition? Now I had said everything in a oral idea oriented, concept oriented, knowledge oriented subject, but now you need to know a detailed study, which means explain the phenomena of a soil liquefaction and its impact. So now here we need to know exact definition. You need to explain the phenomena, how is it happening, then you need to provide how it impacts, what are all the side effects of this so called liquefaction, how you can conclude that. So everything you need to explain in detail. Okay, the most important thing in physics is definition. So I'll be writing definition in detail, so bear with me, because this definition will be helping you a lot. With the image oriented understanding, what you had understood as a concept, now we will be representing as a definition. Okay, soil liquefaction is a phenomenon. Okay, it is a phenomenon. So this is a phenomenon, which means something is happening. Phenomenon whereby a saturated or unsaturated, okay, or partially saturated or partially saturated soil. Okay, so soil is saturated, that it loses its strength, so it is changing. Okay, soil substantially loss strength, so the soil is losing its strength, and also it keeps on losing its stiffness. The soil loses its stiffness, and then in a response, okay, in why do that change, why do that stiffness or stress or strength has been lost, because in response to an applied strength, so now you know some applied strength is externally applied, so that only soil is losing its strength usually. So that applied strength is usually based on what, that example I had provided, that is because of mostly earthquake. So the most probably the applied stress will be based on earthquake, shaking, okay, earthquake, shaking, or other sudden change, which means other sudden changes can also be stand as a responsibility for the soil to lose its strength. Okay, now, so which means this sudden change in stress, the stress will be lost all of a sudden, and condition, okay, and this condition causing it to act, causing it to behave, so causing it to behave like a liquid, so it keep on behaving like a liquid now. So this is the what actually happening in the so called soil liquefaction. Whatever I had explained through image, now everything represented in a definition, so you need not read or repeat or remember definition. See here, once I will repeat this, so that will be most useful for your minds writing here. Phenomena whereby saturated or partially saturated soil substantially loss of strength and stiffness, as I had shown through the image, the subsurface loses its strength or stiffness. Yeah, response to the applied force, I had said earlier, earthquake, shaking. So applied force is earthquake. Other sudden changes, so what may be the other sudden changes, the other sudden changes may be any other chemical effects or any other water or sometimes floods, this can also be happening, and also in stress conditions causing to the behave like a liquid. Okay, this is what a general definition that will be most useful. Now you need to understand what are all the other sudden changes, and also there is a new thing that you need to learn regarding this. I will tell you that also here. First, chemical feature, for example, sometimes the chemicals present in the soil will keep melt in the water. So for a long duration time, when the chemicals get vanished in the water or dissolved in the water, then the soil loses its strength, and soil also starts keep on flowing, and also keep acting as a liquid. And also this happens mostly in loosely packed soil. When a soil is loosely packed, that is a major source where you can see this soil to be mostly facing this liquefaction. And also you can see external forces. See here, external forces are the main reason why this soil is changing its so called character. External forces, now let me say you what may be the external forces. Something like earthquake, which is a most common thing, this is caused mostly due to earthquake, but I say that sometimes nuclear blast, okay, nuclear blast can also be responsible. Other any blastings are also sudden change in the landforms, this can also be main reason. And next, now the main part of the question is impact. Here See guys, this question, this topic, this concept I'm teaching you with concept plus question. So I'm image oriented, then theory. Theory is based on the concept and also I'm also providing the question so that both the things you'll be understanding and also you'll be having a clear idea. Impact. So impact is loss of the bearing strength, loss of the bearing strength of the soil. So now the soil has a bearing strength of the surface, and obviously this liquefaction makes the soil to lose its bearing strength. So if it loses the strength of the soil, then the structure along the soil will be damaged, along the surface will be damaged. So structural damage will be happening. The structural damage will be happening. So if some such structure is damaged, then there will be a property loss. So heavy property, when a building is lost, as I shown earlier, a car has been lost, that causes the property loss. And then there is casualties too. If a whole house is lost, there will be a casualties too. Okay, so this is important, that the liquefaction can cause some sort of human damage and also lifestyle damage and many other things. And also lateral spreading. So the soil when melted, it can spread over laterally and spread to many other regions, and also it can cause effect to the different regions. And also some regions you can experience sand boils, like sand volcanoes. Sand boils or sand volcanoes can be experienced. So due to the change, you can volcanoes, so this can be experienced in this region. So this will be acting as a severe danger to the human lifestyle or many other places. And next, so here if soil liquefaction happens at a certain region, the settlement will be completely lost. So the settlement or region or village or place or city somewhere, the soil liquefaction happens, the people will be frightened. They don't return to the places, they don't trust in the land, because anytime together it may repeat it over, so that the people will be in a constant fear, the settlement will be lost. And also this can create a flow of soil. For example, let me tell you how it can affect landslide. You know that landslide. So landslides are prevalent on hilly terrain. So if this is a hill, inside here some soil liquefaction happens, this whole structure of the so-called mountain or hill can slowly fall aside. So landslide can also happen. So and during rainy seasons you can experience this. Rainy seasons in hilly terrains and many other places you can experience this, and this will also affect the lifestyle over there, and also the common nature can be lost, natural lifestyle can be lost, and many other havoc can be created. So okay, now we had written everything in a clear manner. So what is required for mains, how you can expect a question and how you can write it. Okay, this impacts I not explained it, I just gave the hint. So these things should not be written in a hint format, you should explain it in a 2 to 3 lines, then only you will get a valid marks. And then next, okay, come over here. In 1964 example, I'm giving an example where such soil liquefaction has happened and has affected the human lifestyle in Niigata. So Niigata is a place in Niigata, which is a place in Japan, where a dangerous so-called soil liquefaction has happened after the earthquake, and many buildings has been consumed by the earth. Okay, next, is it artificial or natural process? Actually this is a natural process. So mostly this is a natural process. It can be man-made, mostly man-made activities. It cannot be man-made, completely man-made is not possible. It can be instigated, which means instigated by the man. So instigated by man-made factors. How man-made factors can instigate that? So for example, some so-called any nuclear test, if someone is testing nuclear weapons, then obviously the subsurface will be shaken. Okay, nuclear test underground. So if a nuclear test is done underground, then there is a possibility that it would instigate the process so-called soil liquefaction, then it can affect the people. And also this happens mostly in sandy type of soil. So sandy soils or loosely packed soil are most common where the soil liquefaction is happening. And next, here the magnitude of earthquake which can trigger this so-called soil liquefaction is mostly greater than 5.5 magnitude Richter scale magnitude earthquake can instigate the so-called process called soil liquefaction. And again, how can it be avoided and what are all the things you should take care to avoid this soil liquefaction? nowadays the engineers are having a modern technology. So engineers are having a modern and best ever technologies. Everything must be used to research. Okay, so you should do research, and also there is the soil quality must be tested, because if you consider a city is lying on the subsurface where a soil is possibility to liquefy, then that would affect a lots and lots of human havoc and many lives would have lost. So you need to avoid such incidents. So engineers should properly research the subsurface, and also geologists also must study the subsurface area and everything in a clear manner, and have a clear idea of where the possibility of liquefaction can happen. And also here, let me tell you one more reason where is a possibility of soil liquefaction: dam construction. So if a region where a soil is loose and or not tightly fitted, closest to the region, establishment of so-called dam can also instigate this such incidents. So you should be more careful while constructing this infrastructure and many other activities that can create a havoc to the people. And now you had a clear idea of what is soil liquefaction. If so any question has been asked, you know how to deal with it. This is how you learn and write. Okay guys, so every concept in geography or any other thing, see here, first know it through images, learn it through images, then you will understand the concept. After understanding, make it a definition for that, so that you will be able to represent in a proper definitions. And also then you have a clear cut impacts, side effects, everything you need to write it down and able to answer it. Okay guys, thank you, thanks for the day. This is me SPR signing off. Have a nice day. We'll be joining you in the next session, and we'll be learning more geography based concept for your examinations. Bye bye, take care, have a nice day.